I'm coming to you from the Basilica at Belmont Abbey College. Statue of St. Benedict. Founded in 1876, there's a lot of history here. Hi, I'm Christine Downing, also known as Christie Graziano, class of 1990 at Belmont Abbey College. When I was a student here, there was a lot of mystery behind the monastery. We were never allowed in, and although we did have some religious faculty, most of what was going on in the monastery was a mystery to us. That's why I'm so excited today to be meeting with Abbot Placid, who's going to take us inside the monastery for a look at some art by a former Abbey student and something you are not going to be able to snooze through. I hope you'll enjoy this Abbey attic story. Hi, I'm here in the foyer of the monastery with Abbot Placid, who has been at Belmont Abbey since 1974. He's going to tell us about some of the treasures that are here at Belmont Abbey. To my right, we have a very interesting contraption of sorts. Abbot, what is this?
This would have been built by the brothers here early in the history of the monastery. It would have been used most likely during Holy Week when bells weren't used. And if you turn the...
I'll let you do the honors.
If you turn this here, it gives you an idea of either waking people up in the monastery to get to the vigil office, which at that time would have been about 4:30 in the morning. And could have been used also in the church when there are no bells between Holy Thursday and the Easter Vigil. And we had a former student who had found that when it was discarded in the 1960s and very graciously brought it back to us last week.
And I imagine you don't use this anymore.
We don't use this anymore,
wake people
no.
up. Well, I don't think you could have slept through this.
Turn it? Want to turn it?
Oh, I get a turn too?
Yeah.
So the construction is late 19th century. It's clearly handmade. You can see the monks use chisels, and I kind of prefer modern alarm clocks to wake up to. And I see a very interesting painting over here. What can you tell me about this gorgeous piece of art?
This was a gift to the monastery by Ralph Ray, who was an alumnus of the school and went on to become quite well known as sort of the second Audubon or so. I think you've done some work with his prints of nature and so.
Yes, we've talked about Ralph Ray's work before, forerunner of conservationism, a lot of botanical illustrations and portraiture. This appears to be something he would have done in art school along the lines of Caravaggio, following in the old master tradition. It's spectacular. And it appears that Ralph Ray completed the work in 1940, as it's dated on the bottom, so he was an art student, had already graduated from Belmont Abbey.
We have this in our parlor, so guests can see that. I don't think people realize the importance of it, or it just sort of sits there, and it's a beautiful work.
Well, I'm hoping we can change that. So Abbot Placid, thank you for allowing us here today. Let's see some other treasure at the Abbey.
Okay, thank you. Welcome home again.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
To show you a little bit of the treasures that are sometimes hidden away in the monastery.
Terrific. Thank you. Let's go.
Okay. This is unusual. We're having you into the enclosure today. Normally we don't have guests up here, but come on
Very
inside the
thrilled.
community area. And here is our community room. And there is Jim McGlynn's painting.
Oh my goodness.
Right there. Jim McGlynn did this as a student here. It's the statue here is now out in front of the Basilica, which was moved when the church was renovated in the mid-1960s. It used to be to the north of the monastery, in a little place out here. It's moved to the front of the church, but he's back, from standing here, he's back outside the monastery at the north end, looking towards the church.
Okay.
And that would have been the site he would have seen up there. It's changed now because the statue's been moved. But that, according to his dating, it's 1964. So the year before that was moved.
So this is an acrylic on board by Jim McGlynn as a student. So 1964, I believe he started Belmont Abbey the 62-63 school year, as Dr. Murray shared with us. It was his the beginning of his academic
Okay.
career here. So this a very talented piece of art by a 20-year-old student.
And this is hanging in our community rooms, so this is our sort of recreation area. We use it regularly, so we're able to see a work of one of our students.
That
Reminder.
everyone in the community gets to enjoy on a daily basis.
And here,
Is this Babe Ruth?
that's Babe
And
Ruth.
who is he with?
He is with Father Norbert. The Yankees used to take the Southern Railroad, which goes right through Belmont, to their Florida training camp every year. And they would stop here and do an exhibition game with the college baseball team.
Really? Oh, how fascinating. Of all I expected to see terrific works of art as I have in this behind the scenes look in the monastery, I never expected Babe Ruth
Babe Ruth, yeah.
with one of the monks. My goodness.
These are just pictures. Sort of
Different moments
different-
in time at the monastery. What was the largest the community was ever, do you know, at
It
one
was
point?
1905, there were 85 monks, but they were not all living here.
Okay, so that would have been very tight quarters.
No, they had foundations in 1905 in Savannah, Richmond, and Bristow in Northern Virginia, and also a
Okay.
number of parishes.
And how many are here now?
There are 16 monks in Belmont Abbey now. This was Notre Dame signed football for Father Kieran on his 50th anniversary, either priesthood or profession. And this is a game ball or sign ball, autograph ball from the Belmont Abbey men's team given to the monks.
And what was the connection to Notre Dame?
Simply Father Kieran was
A fan?
an aberrant fan of Notre Dame. So the Saturdays rose or fell depending on whether they won or lost.
Aha. So,
Father Kieran was Irish by descent.
so a fitting gift.
Right. And this was for Abbot Walter, who was inaugurated into the Michael Reedy Athletic Hall of Fame for his role as football coach for the junior college. And his
What
playing.
years would that have been that
That would have
Abbot
been
Walter was the football coach?
He played probably in the 1930s, probably in the 40s he would have been the coach.
Wow. I didn't know Abbot Walter was a footballer.
Yes, he was. Cole Carr Coggin. We'll go down to the first floor in the monastery chapel.
Thank you. And I'm so very grateful, Abbot Placid, that you were able to give us this time.
Well, maybe in
To show us
post-pandemic time
around.
we can do a focused one on some of the other art that's in the Abbey. but
I would
we're
very
not bringing
much love
people
to
in
do
right
that, and that is as we should be doing. Thank you again.
you.
Thanks. Wow, that was amazing. I never expected that Abbot Placid would allow us to see so much behind the scenes in the monastery. Maybe you have a story from your time at the Abbey or a treasure you'd like to know more about. If you do, we'd love to hear from you and include your story in the Abbey Attic.